Hello to you out there. My name is Ruth Barrow. I'm a public health nurse. In today's video, we shall be looking at abstinence. Are you surprised? You shouldn't be. It is possible to abstain. A lot are abstaining. And I want to encourage you today by listening to this video to encourage yourself and take that decision to abstain. So we shall be looking at what abstinence is. We'll also look at why do we need to abstain. And is it even possible for one to abstain? And what are some of the future problems, one is exposed to if you take abstinence or make abstinence as a decision? Then we'll also look at whether there are people who are actually abstaining. And aside that, we'll look at what happens when one abstains. Does it just happen all of a sudden? Or there are steps involved? This and many others we shall be looking at in this video. To start with, abstinence is choosing not to engage in sexual intercourse until marriage. It is a decision made by, an individual to avoid any form of sex, such as oral sex, vaginal sex, or even anal sex, until one is ready or responsible enough to take care of himself or herself. Now, why do we need to abstain? There are so many good reasons to choose abstinence. For example, it helps you channel your energies, into other things, other useful activities such as your education, your vocational training, or even sports. You also prevent STIs, including HIV, when you practice abstinence. And as you, prevent STIs, then your chances of having children in future is assured. Abstinence is also a smart way to avoid unwanted pregnancies until you are ready to mother a child or to father a child. Instances where people feel hurt, used, or being used, or lonely, or even angry by having sex with people, when they are not ready, is also prevented. So you prevent yourself from these stresses you go through after having unprotected sex and having to be worried about whether you're going to get pregnant and all that. It also is prevented. Now the question is, can one abstain? Absolutely, you can abstain because people are abstaining. There are lots of activities you can do in order to abstain. Activities like games, you can engage in, football, basketball. You can have recreational activities like playing Ludo or Wari with your friends and other interesting games. You can even go cycling or swimming or sightseeing with your friends as a way of, taking your mind off to abstain. You can also use this period to learn new skills like writing, reading, engaging yourself in, playing musical instruments, gardening, painting, anything that is of your interest. You can engage yourself in this period of abstinence. You can also involve yourself in religious activities. This can take your mind off, having sex or whatever you don't want to do. And remember the saying that the devil would usually find work for an idle hands. So you don't want to be idle in order to be tempted not to abstain. Again, as you abstain, you need to avoid social media, especially social media exposure to, movies that are of, pornographic movies or videos that would lure you to wanting to reconsider your decision of abstinence. Now, are there future problems associated with people who abstain? Not at all. There are no problems or future problems with people who abstain. Actually, it makes you bold and confident. It also prepares you for a better future and for that perfect partner out there waiting for you. Abstinence also helps you build trust between you and your future partner, and it is the right choice for you to take because it doesn't destroy your sexual feelings. It actually gives you, a better sexual life when you are ready to have sex. Now the question is, are there people actually abstaining like me or like you? Or you who wants to take this decision? You might want to wonder whether you are the only one abstaining or there are other people who are abstaining. Yes, there are so many people who have abstained and are still abstaining. In fact, even those who have, faltered during their period of abstinence by involving themselves in some sexual activity have a lot of regrets. They wish they hadn't done that, and so they're abstaining until a time where they feel responsible enough to start having sex with the right people when they get married. Again, you don't really, the interesting thing about abstinence is that you don't really have to defend your decision. You don't really have to defend yourself to someone, or give pay attention to someone, or be worried about what people might think about you abstaining, because it is your decision, and the benefits outweigh the disadvantages. So why will you look back? You don't really have to. Now I want us to look at, does abstinence just happen? Does it just happen all of a sudden? Abstinence does not just happen. Saying no to sexual pressure is not enough. You need to think about it and make a plan and follow it through. And as you make this plan, you make sure that you are bold and you are firm about the decision that you are making. You need to be clear about why you have made the choice to abstain. You also need to avoid situations that may make abstinence difficult, such as kissing, hugging, fondling, or indecently dressing. These may expose you to not practicing abstinence. You need to also set your limits as an adolescent. If you are not in a relationship, make sure you talk to your friend about your choices. Or if you are in a relationship also, let your partner understand why you are abstaining. And if he or she doesn't respect that, then of course it is not certainly worth that relationship. You also need to avoid being pressured by not having sex. And so you need to be mindful about the kind of company of friends that you be with at the time you're thinking about abstaining. You also need to avoid the use of alcohol and hard drugs such as marijuana, cocaine and stuff, because this can make you high. And once you are high, that decision of wanting to abstain, can be compromised, and you end up doing what you actually never planned to do. Remember, do not get high or drunk. It is very easy to do something you will regret later. Also, don't accept gifts, money, or special favors that may pressure or compel you to having sex with people you don't intend to. Avoid being with the opposite sex in a very lonely or serene places, because this can, it can lure you, or it can, it can expose you to giving in, even though actually you didn't intend to. You also need to involve more in recreational activities to get your mind off it. Participate in religious activities as well, as this can also help you, abstain from sex. I want to encourage you that abstinence is the best choice. Abstain now or get protected. If you cannot abstain religiously, talk to a health practitioner. They will help you out with contraceptives that can help you protect yourself or prevent STIs in the period that you are having sex. Be proud that you are making a decision to abstain, and encourage someone by you that abstinence is possible and is feasible. Thank you for watching this video. I hope to see you another time. Stay blessed.